Good evening. I hope everybody had a good day. Oh, I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad this week is over. Tomorrow I work at my second job, but that's a walk in the park. That's a walk in the park. I love my second job. I do. I'm not a big fan of corporate America. I'm not a big fan of it at all. I'm not a big fan of what we're doing to this world, to our great nation, to our small businesses. I'm not a big fan of sweatshops that we're running here. But I am a big fan of the people I work with and the people that I get to meet coming in and out of the department store. So I take that as a solid win. I have to say, it has been an interesting week. Just with tension, energy, realization, healing, processing, understanding, big picture. A lot of different things have been brought to light over this last week. And yeah, it's an interesting world we live in right now. I know everybody feels it. And I don't foresee it changing anytime soon. I don't. I see the tensions getting hotter. I see cults and covens and underground networks and underground deep state just like reaching to cover up damage control. And I think we're going to see that happen for a little while, for quite some time. I don't see the truth coming out, that's for sure. And I don't know that we're ever going to get the full truth, truthfully. I think we all know the truth. That's pretty evident in a lot of different cases. And whether that's Charlie Kirk investigation, whether that's, politicians, the Epstein, I think we're all pretty well aware of what the truth is, right? And so once you get to that point of realization, you kind of understand the reality of your surroundings. And you're like, okay, noted. For example, I'm taking a break from fighting the judicial system right now. I have my case filed. It was denied yet again. And I have all my evidence. And boy, am I gathering more. And, what I do with it in the future, well, I guess stay tuned. But it's one of those things, I'm not going to continue fighting a broken system. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my energy. It's a matter of recognizing what I can control in my reality, in my surroundings, and what I allow to bother me, and trying to figure out why people do the things they do or why they choose to operate in what they operate in is something I'm never going to figure out. That's clear as day. I mean, I'll never figure out why someone would want to cover up their husband's assassination. Like, I'm never going to understand that. But people make choices, right? I'm never going to understand why your own family would choose to attack you silently. I'm never going to understand that, right? I'm never going to understand why handlers try to handle people. These are things I'm never going to understand. So it's like, I don't worry myself with trying to understand it. See, it used to bother me because I used to always wonder, like, why do these people make these choices? Why do they do the things they do? Like, make it make sense, God. And I've just been walking through all these different angles and just understanding that people do things that you're just never going to understand. And a lot of times it's the ones you love the most and the ones that are around you the most. And the ones that share the last name. And it stinks. And it's a sting. It's a stingaroo, right? Betrayals they're not something anyone should go through. No one. But yet they're so common. Why? Why are betrayals so common? Well, we live in a world that chooses envy, ego, greed, money truthfully, when people attack you, there's always money money associated with it. People generally don't attack people just because, unless there's dollar signs associated with it. They just don't. That's just the reality of it. I mean, that is just truth. Make it make sense. I mean, why would you attack somebody for no reason? Unless there's money involved. So that said, something came to me. I know without a doubt, I can just hear it now. And I've heard people say this to me in different ways of like, when I share my testimony, I share my story, I share different things in reference to my past. I know it gets a lot of people fluffered. Like, why can't you just move on? Why can't you just let it go? Well, you see, I'll tell you why. Because I live in a world that just lacks accountability. For some reason, there's a lot of people that lack accountability, right? And if people are fluffered with me sharing my story, my testimony, things that I have been through in the dark, all by myself, that I've been able to overcome. And when I share my story, I share my testimony, it helps people. It inspires people. I don't care if I get likes, I get views, I get all this. I already know this. Intuitively, I know it. All right. I just do. And I don't do it for the fruits of the labor of seeing all that. I do that to help people evolve. I do it to help people grow for free, for free. I know there's a lot of things in this world, but a lot of things are not free, right? But I'm here just, pouring stuff into the humanity, pouring stuff into the collective for free, for free. And if people have an issue with me sharing my testimony, my story, my purpose, my past wounds, then you need to ask yourself why, right? You ain't got to watch me. By all means, you ain't got to watch me. All right. Furthermore, why does it bother you? Why are you watching it? Well, probably because when I tell my truths, when I share my story, it supersedes your lies. It supersedes your narrations, your smear campaigns, all your setups, plots, and schemes, right? And so I would venture to say that would be probably upsetting to you, seeing as you chose to put yourself on this side, right? And this is what happens when you choose to live a false facade. You choose to live a life full of lies. You choose to live a life where you have to cover up everything. So when you choose to attack someone in the dark, and then they recognize that they're being attacked, and then they go through all the different measures in reference to the law enforcement, the judicial system, their government, and they're shut down. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna start sharing my story because something's not making sense here. And then you're fluffered about that too. Well, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to entertain the idea of it. Like, if people get upset with you sharing your testimony, sharing things that you've been through, then that is on them. They don't have to listen and they don't have to watch. So often enough, we all walk through horrific situations, betrayal, traumas, SA, human trafficking, drug abuse, like all these different things. And we're told we can't talk about it. We're shunned for it. And then what do? We go in. We think there's something wrong with us. We forget who we are. We forget what even makes us happy because we're so trauma bond. Because we don't talk about it. We don't share it. And see, we have to get to a world where people feel confident and comfortable sharing their story and being, excuse me, bless me, being who they are, authentically them. The good, the bad, the ugly, the raw, the transparent, the authentic. Like, people are going to talk about you anyways, period. They just are. There's not anything you can do in this world to make some people happy because they're not happy with themselves. Most people that are not happy with you is because they're not happy with themselves. Literally. Ask them why you don't like this person. Make it make sense. They won't even be able to give you a valid answer. Is this person even a part of your life? No, then why is it so bothersome to you? I've been removed from everybody's life, so why is it such a big deal that I'm sharing my story? Why do we still have a problem here?